I've been a cab driver for over a decade. There are rules when driving passengers at night.
There's a reason we're scared of the dark. That familiar discomfort when you're driving alone at night, even if you don't see anyone on the road around you. It's instant, a warning built into your bones, because there are things out there. Beings we can't explain. They don't show up on camera. They don't care about your pepper spray. They don't follow rules, ancient ones, rituals maybe. I don't know where they come from or who made them, but I've learned this much. If you follow the rules, they'll leave you alone. I just never thought I'd experience something like that behind the wheel of a damn cab. People think being a rideshare driver is simple, and they're right for the most part. You drive, you talk if they want to talk, you drop them off, you get paid. No real boss breathing down your neck, no office politics, no deadlines. Just a road, your car, and a playlist long enough to keep you entertained between rides. And that's why I started doing it in the first place. After I left my old job, I don't want to deal with people anymore. Not really. I've been a mechanic for 20 years, ran my own shop until my knees gave out. My business went to shit. The rideshare apps came at the right time. I don't have the smile if I didn't want to. I didn't have to fix anybody's problems. Just get them where they were going. During the day, it's easy. College kids head to class, nurses pulling doubles. Grocery store runs for people without cars. Honest, quiet work. Sometimes I'd even enjoy the small talk. I liked hearing about their lives. Felt like I was doing something good, even though it was just 5 stars and a quiet things. But at night, things change. Air gets heavy, the people get strange. I remember when I first heard about the rules of the road after sundown. Not guidelines, not suggestions, rules. They show up on the app the second the sun begins to set. And if you break one, well, let's just say you don't want to find out what happens. Every night shift starts the same. Right after sunset, the app buzzes and emits a strange sound. Not a standard chirp a notification makes, something dull and stringy, like a warning siren before a storm. On a much smaller scale, of course. The screen goes black just before a message appears in blocky text.
Night shift protocol active between sunset and sunrise. 1. Do not look at passengers directly. Use the rear view mirror if you must. 2. Do not accept payment greater than a cab fare. Never take gifts. 3. Only process one ride at a time. Never allow multiple passengers in your car. 4. Make sure your final passenger is dropped off before sunrise.
I review them every time, even though I got them memorized. I don't know if the app updates them or something darker is watching to make sure I read them. Either way, I never skip that screen. At least I don't anymore. I made the mistake of ignoring the rules once, and that was one time too many. I never really was a superstitious man. Back when I started doing nights, I laughed. Rules like these felt like a joke. Some edgy tech campaign or something. The kind of stuff that gets passed around on Halloween to show they're being hip and festive. But the thing is, these rules, they're a real deal. The consequences are even more real. I learned that the hard way. It started with something small, just a guy who was his own paying double. He said he appreciated my service, said I looked tired and wanted to bless me. He pulled out a crisp 100 and set it gently on the center console. I told him no. He insisted. He told him again. He smiled and slipped it into my cup holders. It's yours either way, man. No, I didn't touch it. Just left it there until it was gone. I mean, what's the harm? The guy looked unremarkable after all. A middle-aged gentleman with slicked back salt and pepper hair, reading glasses, t-shirt, and a vest. Gave me an easygoing surfer vibes. Then I looked up in the mirror. He was still there. I heard him leave, heard the door shut behind him. I saw him disappear into the dark, but he was still there, grinning. His eyes were all black. He mouthed something, but the words didn't match the movement, like a broken puppet trying to whisper a prayer. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I reached back, heart pounding. The seat was empty. It was nowhere to be found, except for the mirror. He stayed there for the rest of the drive, just smiling, chatting away. I parked my cab in the farthest corner of my apartment's locked the doors, and went inside. The $100 bill stayed exactly where it was, untouched, humming with some quiet invisible pressure. I can feel his presence everywhere I went. Something was trying to make me go back for it, spend it maybe. I wasn't sure, but I needed help to make it go away. I contacted support through the app. There was no helpline, no human name, just a form question.
Describe your incident.
I've typed everything. The passenger, the tip, the mirror. I waited. Felt so silly. 24 hours later, I got a reply.
Protocol breach acknowledged. Remedial steps required before shifts may resume. Burn a foreign currency. Avoid seafood for 2 full days. Thanks for contacting technical support.
That was it. No apology, no explanation, just instructions. I picked up the $100 bill like it was a loaded firearm. I was surprised at the weight of it. I went out the alley behind my complex and set it on fire in a soup can. The flames hissed green for a moment, then evaporated. It didn't smell like money burning. It smelled like salt and old fish. I skipped sushi that week. Thankfully, I'm not much of a fish guy. But the third night, the app let me log in again, and like nothing ever happened, the rides returned. It has been pretty smooth sailing ever since. Not every shift is terrifying, some are just weird. Like the woman in bright yellow dress who got in without saying a word and only whispered her destination.
The bag.
While a man who didn't blink stared straight ahead and screamed every time he passed a fire hydrant. Weirdest fright I ever gave was last November. It was around 3:12 a.m., the dead stench of time where the world feels empty. I was parked near the outskirts of town, engine idle, watching a moth dive repeatedly into the windshield. Ping came through. There was no address, no coordinates. I just almost declined. Nobody lives way out there. It's all farmland, old sheds, but I was behind on rent. And I was pretty good at following rules at this point. Profile picture was blank. Name just said M. Fine, I accepted. As I approached the pickup spot, my headlights hit something standing in the middle of the road. A man. No, a figure. Very still, dressed in old-fashioned clothes, black hat, long coat, hands folded in front of him like he was at a funeral. I stopped. He didn't move. I glanced at the app. The pen was directly on him. Against my better judgment, I rolled down the window a few inches. Hey, you, The figure nodded once. I unlocked the doors and pulled up the rules panel on the app and phone. Same rules as always, no change. Row the first one for good measure.
Do not look at the passengers directly. Use the rearview mirror if you must.
Right. He opened the back door and slid in. Didn't speak, just sat there, seat creaking under his weight. I pulled back from the shoulder and merged back onto the main road. Silence was suffocating. I snuck a glance into the rearview mirror. At first, I saw nothing. Then the mirror fogged up, as if someone had breathed on it from the inside. I wiped away the condensation with my thumb and nearly jumped in my seat at what I was reeled beneath. The figure in the back seat wasn't looking at me. It was holding something. A large postcard pressed flat against his face, like a mask. Long fingers curled at the edges, fingers with nails so long and yellow they looked rotted. Just the sight of them sent a cold wave down my spine. I leaned forward just slightly enough to make out the writing. 2 words scrawled across the card in what it looked like red ink or blood. I couldn't tell. Just drive, it said. I didn't ask questions. I drove. For 40 minutes, we cruised past the silent fields. Dead gas stations, stretches of road. I swear I've never seen any map. I didn't get a destination update. No timer, just me, the road, and whatever was sitting behind me. The silence felt thicker than usual. The only sound was a low hum of the engine and an occasional creak of the frame. Like the car itself felt uneasy. I kept checking the rear view, but the mirror kept fogging up over and over. I went to clean from the side of my hand, each time revealing the same thing. He was closer. At first, he was sitting upright, stiff, almost mannequin-like. Next time, he was leaning slightly forward. Then his knees were nearly touching the back of my seat. His hat was all old and stained. The brim tipped just low enough to hide most of his face, torn in one corner, frayed like it had been dragged through gravel. I couldn't see his eyes, but I could feel them, like heat on the back of my neck. A cold sweat was forming along my forehead. I didn't know what to do. No name, no timer, no destination. That had never happened before. I gripped the wheel tighter, kept driving, heart pounding louder, and the trees on tires on the asphalt. What do I do if he doesn't leave? What if he just sits there until the sun comes up? Something bad would happen. I didn't know what exactly, but I knew the rules. This wasn't just another creepy fare. At exactly 4 a.m., he tapped the window twice. I pulled over. Before I could say a word, the door creaked open and slammed shut. I checked the mirror. Fog gone. Seat empty, except for something left behind. There was a small envelope with one of the fancy wax seals. Inside was a bundle of tattered cash wrapped in a classy red bow. Not a cent over the fare. Thank God. I set it aside and sat there for a while, just breathing. The car was finally quiet. Still, that night feels like it happened ages ago. I'm more seasoned now. Passengers without destinations, common occurrence these days. It took me a while to realize they're not chasing a place. They're chasing a feeling, a reaction. They're insatiable like that. But I've learned a lot since then. I know better to feed their desires. You give them a cold shoulder long enough, and eventually they leave. These days, I'm more composed, like a prison warden ferrying rowdy inmates. I even bought a pistol that fits in the glove compartment, mostly idle. But if someone in the back gets bold and starts creeping too close, a little flash in the barrel is usually enough. They growled, they cursed, slammed the door behind them. Cab fare left on the seat, not a cent overpaid. I don't bother being gentle. It's not like they can tip me. But tonight I'm feeling a bit more anxious than usual. It isn't because of the job. Nope. Supernatural cab passengers are a walk in the park compared to what I have in store tomorrow. My son's getting married. I haven't been part of his life, not really. That was my fault. I kept my distance after the divorce, told myself he'd be better off without me hovering around. No awkward visits, no clumsy father-son talks, just space. But when the invitation came, I cried. I just sat on the couch clutching the envelope and cried like I had it 10 years. There was no way I was missing it. I missed too much already. I should be resting now, getting ready for the big day, but I needed to calm my nerves. For some odd reason, this job does it for me. Midnight hits, the app dings. First ride of the night, I take a deep breath and swipe to accept. Gotta focus. Just get through the shift and then straight to the hotel. Change into the suit and head to the ceremony. The guy who gets in looks normal, collared shirt, dark jeans, clean cut. He slides into the back seat without a word at first. I start driving. A few blocks in, he speaks up. Big night. I nod. Yeah, my son's getting married tomorrow. Oh, that's great. What's his name? I hesitate. James. James. He repeats it real slow. James. Strong name. What time's the wedding? 2. I say, eyes fixed on the road. He grins. That's wonderful.
You must be proud.
I give a tight smile, but don't answer. Something about the way he's asking always makes me uneasy. It's not the questions. People make small talk all the time. It's the way he leans in when he speaks, like he already knows the answers, like he's confirming something. We pull up to his drop off. He thanks me, steps out, and just stands there on the curb, staring through the rear window. I look straight ahead and pretend not to notice. After a few seconds, he disappears into the dark. I sit there in silence, hands still on the wheel. That was strange. Even stranger than usual. Then it hits me. The rules. I forgot to check the rules tonight. I pulled up the app and swiped to the rules section. Crap. There's a new rule.
Don't talk to the passengers about your personal life.
I stare at the screen, like maybe I'm reading it wrong. Like maybe it's always been there. And I just never noticed. But I know better. The rule wasn't there yesterday. My heart starts pounding. I pull over open app and send a message to support. Something simple.
There's a new rule. I broke it. How bad is this? What should I do?
No reply. Silence ensued. Last time I broke the rules, it took 24 hours to respond, and I don't have 24 hours. Eventually, I pulled back onto the road. I figured I'd do a couple more drop-offs, keeping things simple. Maybe if I don't mess up again, everything will smooth over. Next few passengers seem normal enough, quiet, but there's a weird vibe. A kind of smugness. A few of them chuckle under their breath. One keeps stealing glances at me in the rear view, like I'm the punchline to some inside joke. Another girl won't stop smiling, just this too wide grin, like she knows some deep, dark secret about me. It starts to wear on me. By the third ride like that, my stomach's turning. Then it gets worse. The next pickup is a woman standing alone on the corner in a full wedding attire. A long white dress veiled, brocade, and looks new, clean. Not like a Halloween thing. This looks real, expensive. She doesn't speak in, she gets in, just hums softly. Then she starts singing.
Here comes the bride.
Over and over, whispered off key like she's only half remembering the melody. The hair on my arm stands up. I drive in silence, try not to react. She keeps singing all the way to her destination. Just before she opens the door, she leans forward and whispers,
So when's the wedding?
I say nothing. She tilts her head like a confused bird. Then she gets out and drifts off into the dark, dragging the bottom of her dress behind her. I'm breathing hard now, knuckles white on the wheel. Next ride, a guy in a wrinkled button-up shirt, tie hanging loose. He climbs in already shouting.
It was a goddamn mechanic, you know that what? It was useless. Sat on his ass for 20 years and expects me to be grateful.
I keep driving. He doesn't stop.
My fiance wants me to bite him. Can you believe that? To my own wedding. She doesn't know the guy. Hell, I don't even know the guy.
He starts banging his fist on the seat in rhythm. He's working himself up to something. I glance in the rear view. Big mistake. His eyes are wide, wild, red around the edges. There's something shining in his lap. For a second, I think it's a phone. It's not. Without warning, he raises a pistol, sticks it up under his chin, and pulls the trigger. A deafening pop. The windshield doesn't shatter, but I hear the spray hit the back window. He slumps sideways. The door opens on its own, like someone is helping him out. I hear his body land on the sidewalk with a thump, and the door slam shuts behind him. I don't stop. I don't check. I just keep driving. Like I said, I'm a seasoned driver now. Sad to say, this is the first time one of the loons popped themselves in the back seat and tried to get me to turn around. I have bigger issues to worry about. The rule break hung heavy in my head. I still haven't heard back from support. Next passenger looked relatively normal. Clean-cut, mid-20s, button-down shirt tucked into dark jeans. He smiled as he climbed in the back seat. Polite nod. No words. The last few rides had begun unsettling, to say the least. This guy felt different. Not better, just different. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. Something in his silence felt smug. Like he had already knew me. We'd done this before. We drove about 15 minutes without a word. Then I pulled up to a hotel. He didn't move. I shifted in the park, and he turned slightly, still not looking directly at him, just using a mirror. This is the address. You're good to go. Stared at me, no change in expression, no acknowledgement, and then I heard it, a knock on a driver's side window. Dad? I nearly jumped out of my skin. I turned and there he was, James, my son, in his dress shirt and slacks, standing outside the hotel, looking confused and a little nervous. The same hotel, and he and the groomsmen were staying at tonight. How could I forget? I forced a smile. Oh, hey, son. Just dropping someone off. You nervous for tomorrow? He squinted at me like something was off. Yeah, can we talk? My stomach tightened. I had to get this guy out of the car. Sure, just let me finish this ride. I'll come inside after, okay? His eyes just drifted past me to the back seat. Troy? He said. I froze. Figure in the back seat leaned forward, resting his elbows casually in the front headrest. His smile widened. Hey man, can you believe this? I ran into your pubs and figured I'd do a quick beard run before a big day. Hop in. My blood went cold. No, this isn't Troy, I thought to myself. But I couldn't tell James that. I don't know what would happen if I did. This was bad. Really bad. No, James said, shaking his head in disbelief. Troy, you were just inside. You were here with the guys. How did you get out here so fast? The figure didn't break the character. He laughed like it was a shared joke between friends. James looked between us, clearly unnerved. Dad? Who is that? I didn't wait for the thing in the back to answer. This couldn't go on any longer. I slammed the car into drive and tore out the parking lot. Tires screeching, engine roaring, in the mirror. James was yelling something, running after us. I couldn't hear him. You're gonna miss the wedding, the thing said, voice perfectly calm. It's not very fatherly of you. Shut up, I snapped. You're not getting in my head. Oh, come on. It cooed. Don't be like that. Your son talks about you all the time. To me, to everyone. I kept my eyes on the road, jaw clenched so tight I can feel it in my temples. Oh no, he doesn't say good things. You're not a good father, Ben. Shut up, I hissed, tears bubbling in the corner of my eyes. You miss birthdays, miss milestones. What are you even doing now? Trying to show up the last second and pretend it means something? I gripped the wheel harder and wanted to slam the brakes, throw open the door, and drag the thing out, whatever skin it had stolen. Oh, don't be like that, Ben. I have something that'll cheer you up. It whispered. Just keep driving all the way until the sun comes up. I have something to show you. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. My phone buzzed on the seat beside me, James again. I didn't answer. The only sound in the car was the hum of the tires and that thing breathing behind me, waiting. I wasn't sure what to do now. The passenger gave me a drop-off and refused to get out. That hasn't really happened before. There's no way for me to focus it out either. Not without looking directly at it. If I could get this guy to leave before the sun came up. I'm screwed. It was useless. I got to pull over hard, tires kicking up the dust on the shoulder head. The thing in the back doesn't flinch, just smiles like it had been waiting for this moment all night. Open a glove box and take out the Glock 45. Oh, it says. That didn't take long. You're already getting tired of me, Ben. I don't answer. I close my eyes for deep breaths. Oh, Ben, you don't have to do this. You're gonna miss out on all the fun I have in store. I didn't even turn around. I raised the gun behind me, ready. Behind me, steady, my breathing, and pull the trigger. The shot is deafening in the client's face. I don't look. I just sit there, ears ringing, heart thumping. I waited for the movement, for another voice, but there's nothing. I finally peek in the rearview mirror once again. It slumped over in a seat, still smiling, but quiet now, unmoving. I knew I was gonna kill this thing, but it felt good. I just needed to shut it up for a minute. If it wasn't going to leave, so be it. I had to come to the terms with the fact. I wasn't gonna make it to the wedding. I wasn't gonna abandon my son again. It's time for good. At least I could do was say sorry, tell him I loved him. Just wish I could have done it sooner. Damn it, I wish I had more time. On my phone's hand shaking. I try to call James, but it goes straight to voicemail. I speak through a lump in my throat. Hey, it's Dad. I want to say sorry for everything. I should have been there for you. I should have been better. The thing in the backseat was sitting upright now, dusting a blood-soaked shirt, flicking back the loose hair where the bullet exited. I started to sob on the phone. But I'm proud of you, James. I really am. Despite all of my mistakes, you've done everything right, and I'm really happy I got to be at your wedding. The mimic was coughing now, pounding its chest with a closed fist. I heard a loud metallic clang as the bullet bounced off one of its teeth on the way out of its throat. I stifled a sob and took a deep breath before continuing. I love you so much, James. I'll see you soon, buddy. I hang up, tears running down my face, fogging up the screen. I sat there in silence for a few minutes. I watched as an orange glow began to rise from the horizon. It was almost sunrise. I closed my eyes and gripped the steering wheel in grim anticipation. This was it. I wasn't sure what happened if I broke this rule, but I knew there was no coming back from it. Tech support wouldn't be able to help me out of this one. Then I hear clapping, soft, slow. I look up. In the rear view, I see the thing clapping and wearing a wide smile. Only this time it doesn't look smug. It appears sincere, genuine. Nice job, Ben, it says. Really touching. It drops a handful of bills into the seat beside it and steps out of the vehicle. It ducks its head inside to give one final farewell. Congrats on your son's wedding. And then it was gone, just before sunrise. I'm not sure why I decided to leave. All the night passengers wanted something, a reaction, a release. Most of the time it is something mean-spirited. They crave anger, heartbreak, desperation. Maybe this one was benevolent. Maybe I needed to experience something heartfelt, something real. God knows I needed it too. I'm just glad it's all over. I didn't take any more rides for the rest of the night. I went home, scrubbed the blood off the back seat, didn't even know it wasn't in it. Changed the air freshener, even though it still smelled new. Took a long hot shower, put on the suit I've worn in years. I looked in the mirror. I almost didn't recognize myself. I didn't look any different. But I felt different. I wasn't ashamed of the man that looked back at me. I was going to be a new person. I knew it was too late to be a good dad. I've been way too long to fix that. But he would always be my son. He needed to know that I was never going to abandon him again. I got in the car, not for work, just to drive. To the wedding, for the first time in a long time. I felt something that scarred me more than a lifetime of ferrying supernatural passengers. Hope.